name switch.
Yep, I'll get it here in just a second.
Yep. And I'll have him go ahead and sit down.
All right, Coach, congratulations. Great win tonight. Go ahead with an opening statement, and then we'll open up for questions here.
Yeah, it was a great team effort. We 5 guys in doubles, double figures. We had Adam with 9. I thought we made some nice adjustments from the Baylor game, solidifying some things defensively. I thought we were much better in that capacity. And again, I thought Io was outstanding. 12 rebounds. We really challenged him on the glass. This is an elite offensive rebounding team. And, Duke's punished a lot of people that way. But, and then I thought, when we can get out and get a defensive rebound and get out and run, I think we're as good as anybody in the country. And in the first half, that pace was tremendous. And little frustrated in the first half because I thought we left 4 or 5 easy baskets out there and a few missed free throws. But, a great start. And then really just kind of, we never got the pedal all the way to the floor because of some turnovers. But all in all, I felt great about this.
Okay, go ahead, Rob. Joey on deck, Jeremy in the hole. Go ahead, Rob.
Brad, playing Georgie and Kofi together, is that something that we'll see more based on matchups in the future? Did you like how it worked tonight?
Well, Georgie's playing absolutely phenomenal, and we need him on the floor, and we see all of Georgie's tools, and here he is throwing a lob pass against the press. He's such a good passer. He's scoring in the post. He's playing with tremendous confidence. I love him defensively right now because he's talking and he's energetic, and we're a better team on the defensive side when he's out there. So. We'll see it. We'll see that some. Yeah, it's matchup based, and we've got enough stuff in offensively where we can utilize a lot of that.
And you just mentioned the press and before that turnovers, 18 turnovers. How do you feel you can fix those things? And how do you feel overall about ball handling tonight, ball movement?
Practice. I've watched Andre Curbelo never get pressed. We had a couple, we had a few turnovers. Trent turned it over a couple times, and yet we haven't spent enough time on it, Rob, to be honest. And we just got to get in practice and start working on it.
All right, thanks. Congratulations.
Okay, Joey, you're up. Jeremy on deck. Go ahead, Joey.
Hey, Brad, Io said with the preseason talk, he says it was kind of a put up or shut up game. Obviously, it was more of a put up game for you guys. But what do you think a win like this does for the guys in that locker room?
Joey, we had a different presence about us today than we had in Indy the other night. And, we were almost too hyped. It's like we hadn't been on the stage, and Baylor's really, really good, by the way. And the one thing that I thought we had a better shoot around today. I thought we had obviously got off to a great start, and then we could kind of settle in. But I liked our mental approach today. I thought it was really good. And again, that's having some veterans, haven't been there before. And again, we just came into Cameron Indoor and found a way to win.
Okay, Jeremy, you're up. Scott Ritchie on deck.
Hey, Brad, Duke started the game 0 for 12 from 3. And obviously you pestered the guards early. What did you like about what you guys did on the defensive end?
Scouting report. Because we felt like we knew who their shooters were, and we knew who their non-shooters were, and their drivers, and that's one of the things that we spent a good amount of time on in terms of scouting was making sure that we had a great understanding of that. We were much better today, Jeremy, in terms of scouting report detail than we were. I don't know when we played last Wednesday, I guess. So there's growth that way, and that helps. And most of those were contested.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, Scott, go ahead. Brad on deck. Go ahead, Scott.
You're right. Yeah, yesterday you were kind of talking about how Duke had a lot of pushers, guys that could rebound and get out in transition. To kind of flip that on them tonight, how important was that? Maybe just to use one of their tactic against them, get them out of uncomfortable.
Well, we're really good in transition too. We were third in the country, 97th percentile last year in transition. We knew it was going to be a very, very fast game. And we just had to make sure that we didn't run uphill on the defensive end and downhill on the offensive end. We had to do both. I'll take our chances running with anybody. And I feel great about that. And with our guards and our ability to shoot it, we got the elite rim runner and Kofi. So I thought early it was really good, and we knew they were going to do it. We knew they wanted to do it, and but I loved our start because of really defensive rebounding, getting a stop, and then us being able to push.
Okay, Brad, you're up, and then Derek Piper. Go ahead, Brad.
Coach, Duke ran more ball screen action probably than they have in their first few games, largely because you guys have struggled a little bit in coverages. But tonight you switched ball screens. How did you make that adjustment? How does that show you guys have grown since the Baylor game and the Ohio game?
Yeah, we changed it. I mean, I think it's called coaching. I think it's one of the areas, and they do something a little bit different, Brad. With Hurt, he's a big time pick and pop guy. He made 6 threes in their last game. So we felt like that was one area that they could hurt us and that he could hurt us. I'm not worried about him making a bunch of twos. He was going to have to go through Kofi and Georgie to do that. We didn't want the pick and pop, but we just made a slight change in our ball screen coverages in the middle of the floor, and Trent was on the ball a majority of the time, and he's almost impossible to screen. So it helped us a bunch.
And you on the wings, you iced the ball screen on the sidelines, and you showed that Kofi and Georgie did a really good job though of protecting there and not allowing the slip and things like that. Was that just growth?
I mean, that's what we do. I mean, we haven't changed any of that, but and I was worried when you start icing them, they do a great job of cutting on the weak side. And start cutting stunts, and we handled that. We did a good job for the most part of doing that. But again, Brad, it was a much better game for us scouting report wise, attention to detail, and I'm really happy about that.
Thanks.
Hey, Derek, you're up. Matt Stevens on deck. Go ahead, Derek.
Hey, Coach, you get 6 players in double figures. How good of a feeling was it to know you had multiple guys going? Was this a step forward with your chemistry at that end? It seemed like guys played off each other pretty well.
Yeah, it's an elite shooting or elite passing team. I mean, we can really pass, and I think it was an opportunity to share. It was an opportunity. We know everybody's going to try to load up on Io and force him into passing. And Greg, his patience tonight was exquisite. He didn't force anything. He picked and made great passes. I thought Trent, we made a lot of extra passes. Our bigs passed it out some, but it's amazing. You got capabilities of shooting it efficiently when you pass, and it's been a real strength of ours to this point.
And real quick, any update on Adam? Seemed to bang his elbow or his arm, and then also how important was it for him to come out so hot early? Didn't seem like he even touched the rim on a couple of those threes.
Yeah, man. He's got that reputation, and he was great early, and that's what happens when he gets out and runs. He's elite, and we want him shooting all those balls when he's open in transition. So he got us off to a great start. He showed everybody what kind of player he is, and then he was great defensively tonight. So I don't know about his elbow. He said it was just kind of a funny bone deal during the game, but it was a big time hustle play. That saved a possession.
Thanks.
Matt Stevens, Brett Barron's on deck. Go ahead, Matt.
Brad, you've kind of mentioned it about your transition, but it's almost like you try to take those long rebounds and turn them into turnovers. With everybody kind of shooting as many threes as they are, do you guys try to do that? And where does that chemistry kind of get built, where Io can take it off the glass and he kind of knows exactly where to go with it immediately? Yeah, we practice it. We've got certain spots we run to every single time. I mean, the game on the offensive end is all about spacing. And so we've got
we practice it enough. We've got enough. I'll use the word protocols or concepts that the guys are going to fill into those areas, no matter who has it. And we spent a lot more time this week actually with Trent on the ball because we figured Goldwire would be on Io, and Io didn't need to face all of his ball pressure the entire game. But and that's what Curbelo does is fan it and drive it. So we're pretty good at playing off that. I mean, we really start or play 3-point guards a lot.
All right, go ahead, Brett. Brett, you're up, and then Brandon on deck. Go ahead, Brett.
Brad, you've beat top 10 teams before, but does this one feel different being that it's on the road in a top 10 matchup and that your team that is supposed to be more mature now rose to the occasion?
Yeah, and I mean, let's be real. It is Duke and it is Cameron Indoor, and I get it. The fans, weren't here, but it's still Duke. And I hope that maturity and growth and experience helped as part of that. I thought late, Io was in complete control of the game from his end, and that's nice. And you see the difference between a freshman, and I love Curbelo. He kind of lost his way there and lost score and time, and yet Io just settles everything down. So there's a lot of value in experience.
Okay, Brandon, you're up, and then Gavin Good on deck. Go ahead, Brandon.
Speaking of Andre, how would you assess his play tonight?
It's hard for me. He was really good. He's really good, and he was really sloppy. And I think that's the best way to say that. Once we'll grade it out once we watch film, but he's as a point guard, he's got to do a better job of understanding time and score end of a game. And yet, my goodness, I mean, he probably should have had 3 more assists that were dropped or we missed bunnies. And I mean, he has a great way of finding his way into the heart of the paint and then fanning it or dropping it off.
Okay, Gavin, you're up. Alec on deck. Go ahead.
Hey, Brad. Another really efficient night for DeMonte. I think he was 2 for 2 from 3. Adam was 3 for 3 from 3. You guys seem to be really getting the type of shots you wanted tonight. How important was that in dictating this game?
Well, it happens when you can pass, and I mean, and I say that, and I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I mean, it's the truth. We're delivering it at the right time. We're delivering it to guys that are open. We understand where shots are coming, and then we're making the extra pass, and we call it the hockey assist. And that's being unselfish. And, we get 6 guys in double figures, pick your poison. And we know that everybody's going to load up to Io, and that shows his maturity and growth. And, but we're a good passing team. So offense becomes a little more efficient when you can do that.
Thanks.
Hey, Alec, you're up. Mark Pearson on deck.
Hey, Coach, I feel like tonight probably wasn't the most natural matchup for Kofi after Williams was taken out, having to guard Johnson a lot with him playing the 5. Can you assess his play when he was brought out to the perimeter tonight?
Fabulous. We knew we practiced it for a couple days. He knew he was going to be in those actions. We talked to him a lot about just making sure he had a hand up, making sure they shot it over that 7'4" wingspan, and then just being able to move his feet. And Kofi can move his feet. And we've helped him in the ball screen coverage with a change or two, as mentioned earlier. But I like what he did tonight. He was terrific.
And then a quick follow-up in terms of Andre's play: have you had or been around a freshman who is as talented about getting to the basket and getting a shot off, or just seeming to make the right pass under the rim?
I had one as a sophomore, so I didn't have him as a freshman. But I had him as a sophomore, and they're very similar. They're almost identical. Sometimes the best offense is just put them in a ball screen, let them play, and Drake can do that.
Thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win.
Mark, are you still up?
Yeah, somebody asked mine, so Nico, go ahead.
Okay, Nico, go ahead. You're
Thanks.
up.
Hey, Coach, before the season started, there was a moment at practice where Io dove for a ball and Adam didn't, and he kind of just told him, at this level, you have to dive for balls. How did you kind of react seeing him dive for that ball in a 12-point game, knowing that it was kind of that thing where he learned his lesson one time in practice?
That's so awesome. I mean, that might be one of my favorite plays, that and DeMonte and Io at the loose ball right in front of their bench late. And that's how you win. Those are the extra possessions. That's what it takes to be to go where we want to go. And again, the beauty of Io doing that was I didn't have to do that. So I could just sit back and smile and I just shrug almost. That's what Illinois basketball is about. So no better teachers than our veterans.
Okay, Joey, and then Jim Cotter and John Sapini. Go ahead, Joey.
Hey, Brad, you mentioned in Indy you don't do so well sitting in a hotel waiting for night games. How do you have like a pregame deal where you blow off steam that you can kind of let us in how you build up for these top 10 matches?
Well, I woke up this morning before breakfast. I got 3.2 miles in. I went to eat breakfast. I did pregame radio show. My plantar fascia is bothering me a little bit. Our trainer rubbed it out. And then I went on a 4.2 mile walk again. Went to shoot around, came back, did our testing, had pregame meal, looked through my final notes again, took a shower, got on the bus, and here we are. I like to exercise every day, so today just happened to be a 7+ mile day.
Thanks, Brad.
All right, Jim Cotter and then John Sapini. Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, Brad. I know Trent Frazier gets overlooked a lot, but he had a couple of big shots tonight that brought you guys, when Duke was coming back, Trent, put you guys back up and to where it was, never really a question. Just talk about the way Trent played tonight.
Well, you guys all talk about offense. I talk about defense and how few missed assignments that young guy has. And I'm shocked. I got on one of the officials when he fell down coming off a ball screen, and he got knocked down. So in my opinion, it had to be a legal screen because Trent never messes that up. But Trent's awesome, and he's making shots. He was in the gym every day, getting extra shots. He had a great week of preparation and practice. And like I said, we did play him a lot more on the ball this week than we had. It's nice to have that luxury with both Io and Curbelo all being able to handle.
Okay, John Sapini, and this will be the last question. Go ahead, John.
Coach, you said yesterday that you don't like to lose, but when you do lose, you really should learn something. What did you guys learn from that Baylor game?
There's a really bad feeling. And I wanted our guys to understand that feeling. I mean, we needed to understand it. And then we needed to understand why we had that feeling. And again, it was attention to detail, attention to scouting report, execution. We were much better tonight in executing our sets. And I'm really proud of that against their pressure. The Baylor game helped us tonight because what Baylor does defensively is the best in the country right now. And that pressure and that anxiety, they're conceptually very similar in terms of their rotations and so on and so forth. So the Baylor game helped us, and we were able to learn from that and practice it. And we had some similar, familiar concepts going into both games.
All right, Coach. Thank you. Have a safe trip home. Appreciate everybody who's on the call tonight, and we'll talk to many of you tomorrow, and we'll have Coach Underwood later in the week before the Missouri game. So
thanks, everybody.
Thank you.